I'm back here with Sensei Seth.
I'm back, actually.
And he's back.
You're always here.
I'm always. Yeah, this is
Not here.
Not here. I'm in Victory Martial Arts here in Lillington, North Carolina. It's about a 2-hour drive for me. Not too bad. It's a beautiful school here. I love the green.
I ran here.
He ran. Yeah, so far away. You guys were really upset about everything I said, so I want to clarify a couple things, and we'll get to that. Okay, so you remember I asked you about that low block, yeah, and you showed there was a hair grab and et cetera, et cetera.
Sure.
I set you up.
Okay.
I actually knew the answer to the question, but I got a surprise answer that I wasn't anticipating.
Oh.
So
okay.
This is historical context.
Okay.
They used to block like this when Bruce Lee started interacting with karate people in the 60s.
That makes sense.
Okay? So you have the Chuck Norris, the Joe Louis, those types of people.
Yeah.
This block was all pretty...
People who are pretty sideways and get sidekicked a bunch.
Yeah, exactly. So he was right about the sidekick block, knocking it down.
Yep.
But as I had stated, is when we touch low here, this doesn't happen, right? And that was the whole problem.
Yeah, right.
But the historical context of this is if I can get that to draw low in some way, I can make this bridge. And then we can hit and then do the thing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
like you are adding another layer instead of having to grab my hand up here and then pull it down.
Correct.
You're like, I'm going to make your hand go down because it's easier to get somebody else to move than to move them.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I tested this on untrained people. I went to the local Waffle House and I started just going down to get a movement. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people instinctively will do that.
Yeah. 100%. Especially if you're like
100% that. That was
down low.
That was a lot of the comments were like, just do that, and you're going to get the hands to go low.
Yeah.
And I actually recently sparred a really traditional kung fu guy. He was like, hey, just kind of want to move, and I was like, I don't know what that means, but okay. So we started the spot. Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting. No, I'm more confused about kung fu and spot.
Exactly. That's why I was also confused and terrified. More so because I'm like, this has happened a lot now. So thank you, YouTube. Is I'm getting a lot of messages of people nearby coming by who want to fight me. He was blocking a lot with the low block, and it was super fascinating because I got really excited.
Yeah.
Because I could do my moves. I could do the things I've trained for.
Sure.
Anywho, so I just wanted to let you know that I set you up on it.
Oh.
You know,
that's this whole thing?
Yeah. There's no drill. I don't want to show you the drill.
Oh.
The drill, if you want the drill, the drill is here I slap and then something happens. I'm going to back fist and then you will hopefully block. If he blocks, I will pull and here, and if the trap happens, that's good. If not, it's here and then I can get in.
Okay.
So they call this pincher de guachoi drill. So it's here. Pops out, here's the guachoi. Yep, no, that's also a reaction.
Okay.
I can pull and hit.
Yeah.
Or you can bring up the same hand.
Oh,
and
then
I can do it again.
Okay, got it.
That's the drill in a nutshell.
I feel like a lot of people see this and immediately think that you should take it as it is. Is this by chance just like a way to see things and automatically want to touch them wherever they're coming from? Or is this like with the intents and purposes of doing this in a like a row? Like I know this and then this and then this and then this. Or is this like a hand comes, I touch it sort of deal?
It's more attribute building in line. I call it line familiarization.
Okay. So
when I say line familiarization, real simple, in context, if you jab cross hook, banging forearms. If you jab cross hooks, there's only so many lines that can come in.
Okay.
In this particular type of drill, there's only so many things that can happen when I come here. So I'm building the attributes and the variables.
Okay.
The first one is what you did, is that.
Yep.
The second one is that. Third one is you back away. You disengage. You're just like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
And then the other one is you come in because you're like, fine. And then I get to experience that.
Yeah.
So that's what the drill's teaching you. It's teaching you the variables on if I slap your hand out of the way or down or in.
Yeah.
And if some energy happens,
yeah,
you're going to react to this.
Okay.
So that's what the drill is done.
Got it.
The big problem is and people were mad at me for saying this too, but I'm going to repeat it, is they're so stuck on this drill that they forget context and
Yeah. When we do something kind of similar, or at least we've learned this as a kid, we call it brush, grab, strike.
Okay.
It's just, you throw a straight punch, I go boom, boom, bang, and then I throw one. Then you brush, grab, strike.
So brush.
Oh, I didn't brush. Left,
brush.
right, left.
Okay, boom,
left,
boom,
right,
boom.
left, and then I go left, right, left, and then you go.
Oh.
And when you do it fast with somebody who knows what they're doing, it becomes impractical super quick.
Yes.
Because it's about just winning at this thing rather than having like an accurate reaction and adaptation of somebody trying to use that to hit this.
That's super cool. Because that drill is very similar to, we have a very similar drill that's also in Kali and in Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah.
Is if you punch, it's the same thing. So you slap.
Yeah.
And now you've built the bridge and you can hit.
Yeah, ours is just brush grab. And what'll happen is people will start to do it from down here. When in all actuality you're supposed to be here. And it's supposed to be working on, if you throw a punch, I get it across my center line and then latch on.
Cool. Yeah.
And then I can start to go. So I can like bridge the gap. But then what it turns into is boom, 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 boom,
yes.
boom, boom, boom. Which is like less useful.
It's not useful. Where is it?
I think that there's a point where it's past useful.
Got it.
So like anything to this line is good, but now after this, it's like it almost like kind of goes back down because you rely too much on the other person really knowing what they're doing.
Yes.
Which I think is kind of like all martial arts a little bit, but
to a point. So real quick, if I'm here, we're just gonna pretend we're fighting an End of the Dragon.
Okay.
And I slap, and you push it away. Now you come up and with the same hand. Yes. It's the same concept.
Okay.
Where I'm here, and this is
I'm
useless.
just my hands off.
Exactly. Your goal is just to swat my punch away. Right.
Yep.
And then I'm like, okay, I've got it, and you swat it away.
Yeah.
And then you swat it away. Yep. Yes. Yes. So this is impractical. No one fights like this, and I wish they did. But they spend too much time on that drill.
Doing this.
Yes, as opposed to being like, okay, you punched me. Okay, now I got application back.
I think we need to give ourselves, people do this with kicks. When people practice the same kick over and over again, if I say throw a spinning rear kick, people will go from here, wherever they fight from, and then they'll throw it. Then I say, okay, throw 5. Then what happens is they throw this one, and they're pretty square. And they throw this one, and they start like this. And then they throw this one, and by the time they get to like 6 or 7 in a row without taking a breath, now I'm like this. Like, I've cheated so hard that all I have to do is like, boom, right?
Correct.
If you take a breath in between them, and you're like, boom, boom, bang, and then you reset.
Yes.
I think it's way more important than being able to do it super fast.
I agree. And that's what I think Jeet Kune Do, if you're practicing it right, you do this for attribute building, where I hit low, come here, you do a thing, and I do a thing.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, let's go. Right. And then now you go, you still do this, even though it's not maybe realistic, but is when you come down, now you have this response to do something, and then it helps build it where it's not stuck in the drill.
Right.
So it makes it, it's like injecting aliveness, which is what I talked about in trying to resuscitate some of the deadness.
Jeet Kune Do, gotcha.
Yeah.
I think that it's important to, I think if there's anything we can like take away from this, it's that you should take the part of the drill that you think is useful and then make it more useful by cutting out some other stuff and focusing more so on the small, repeatable interaction and cut out some of the like, if this, then that.
I agree.
Because it's really easy to, anytime a punch comes, like you could even break it down so far that anytime a punch comes, I go like that.
Yes.
And that would be so useful.
Correct. Yeah.
But if I mix it in with all these other things that make it a little less useful, you kind of take away from the value of knowing
just
this.
That. Correct.
Because then you don't have anything to do with it after that.
Yeah, 100%. So that's awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Hit the like button. It really helps me out on the algorithm. Also the bell so you never miss my handsome face or any handsome face I bring up on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Party on.
Party on, Garth.
Party on, Wayne.
Wayne, yeah.
Wayne and Garth.
Do they both say it to each other? They both say party on?
Yeah, I think party on Garth, party on Wayne. I don't know what order it is.
Excellent. No, that's Bill and Ted.
Never mind.